How you doing, YouTube? This is Drew Chan again. I'm coming back to you now. I know I haven't made videos in a while, but we're going back to this. My brother actually started making some videos about doing car, I guess it's everyday things or car things or whatever. So now that I'm back from falling off the face of the planet, we're going back to doing more gun videos and how-tos. Here, as you can tell, I'm being joined by Pepper. She's my little pooch here, and we're going to be working on today a video of truing up your rifle scope. Now, if you're not a serious shooter or marksman or whatever, you can really get away with putting the scope on, just putting it on, that being the end of it. You kind of eyeball it, making sure it's level, and that's it. But if you really want to get into long-range marksmanship and stuff, accurizing your rifle down to the optic being placed properly and level does play a big effect when it comes to tracking your target and doing your windage and elevation changes. So what we're working with today, this is a Savage FCP-SR in 308, sporting a Millet TRS-1. It is not a high-end optic, but it does get the job done. This does work for budget, budget optics per se. And it's also sporting a, get this in the frame here, this is a Silencerco Harvester 308 Muzzle Brake. It does have threads so that you can attach a suppressor on top of the muzzle brake itself. And what we're going to be using today to help level this optic out is some Wheeler optic levels. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is obviously you're going to want to make sure your weapon is clear and safe. Obviously Pepper's coming here to help inspect, so she's going to obviously get in the way of this. But so the first thing, obviously, like I said, is we want to make sure we clear this weapon. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the magazine, make sure this is clear. Alright, chamber's clear. Let's go ahead and get a flashlight in there, double check. Alright, everything looks good. Good and savvy. Alright, so we're nice and clear. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step. Alright, so what we're doing now is I've gone ahead and I've opened up the package after we've just finished ensuring the weapon is safe. I've also taken out the bolt assembly, or just kidding, the bolt, so we don't need to worry about that getting in the way. So the Wheeler, these levels, there's two of them. So you have this piece right here, which is, let me get that, this piece right here, which is, they're both magnetized. This one is what goes into your chamber, and this one is what sits on top of your optic. So the first thing we need to do is we need to make sure the weapon is level. So my table is on a little bit of a slant, so you stick this right in here, right into there. Make sure that's good. Right? Okay. So what it does is that little square piece on it actually seats into the grooves where your bolt slides forward on. That's how you ensure it's level. So as we can tell, obviously this is not level at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust my bipod actually so that it does become level. So just keep in mind, like this, I am in no way a armorer or some expert armor dude. I'm just here trying to save money on not having to take my gun to a gunsmith or having to do any of that. So I'm really trying to get this as perfect as possible, actually. So fudge. There we go. Nice in the middle. The next thing we're going to do, I know it took a little while, next thing we're going to do is we're going to then take this part and we're going to seat it on the top of the scope cap. Go ahead and move you up. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring you guys around. So, as you can see right there, the bubble is, well, let me just, apparently there's trying to get this, there you go. So the bubble is there. See, there you go. The bubble's right there. It's in the middle, but it's not in the exact center that I want it. So we're going to go ahead and make adjustments. So it's close, but it's not 100% where I'd like it. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and loosen up these scope caps, or the scope rings. Nope. There. Now when it comes to tightening your scope rings, I like them to be snug but not too snug. The reason why they need to be snug is obviously the recoil from your weapon. You don't want it to be knocking your scope around, but at the same token, you don't want it so tight that it's actually stripping the screws. These actually might be a little too tight for me. Yeah, maybe I put them a little too tight. Oh, scheisse. Well. Okay. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to place, now that I'm done unscrewing this, go ahead and place our level back on there. As we can see, it's clearly moved since we've last touched it, so we need to adjust a little bit. Keep adjusting. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at this level down here, making sure that the rifle's still level, and I'm looking at my optic level, making sure that's still level up here too. Oh, too much. Boop. So I'm trying to make sure I get it right smack diggity dab in the middle. Alright, and we're there. Right back in the middle, so let's go ahead and tighten these guys back down. Get this guy off. The way I like to do it is I like to do the cross sides first. Then do the center ones. Then what we'll do is after we secure it in place, so let's, now that's secure, let's go ahead and put this back on. Alright. It's leveled out pretty good. Alright, cool. Let's do the back ones, and then I'm going to go ahead and snug down these little these bolts. Now what you can do is you can, if you want to be smart about it, which I should get one, but as you can get a torque wrench. I forgot what the proper poundage that lots of people like to do. After it gets really snug by hand tightening, I turn it on its side and do like a what is this, like a quarter turn? Yeah, like a quarter turn. That's why it just really snugs it down, nice and tight on there. Put it this way. There you go. Doesn't need to be too tight. Alright. Okay. Take this guy out. And that's good. Let's go ahead and take a look at the crosshairs. Alright guys, so what we've gone ahead is we've leveled off the optic, as we can see. Well, first we leveled off the rifle, which is level. We've then leveled off the optic. So let's go ahead and double check our work. Go ahead and move these guys. Okie dokie. So the first thing I like to do is I like to look down the rifle barrel, make sure I'm looking down at it straight, and then just move my head up. And that looks like some pretty straight crosshairs to me. Those look pretty level. Let's double check our work. Alright. And that's pretty good. Alright guys, and that right there is how we level a rifle optic on top of this rifle. So thanks guys for watching. Subscribe, and Pepper definitely wants you to subscribe. Look at her, look at this face. She definitely wants you to. She's probably getting annoyed that I'm petting her and including her in this video. But alright guys, so thanks for watching, subscribe, and I hope you guys like this video, and stay safe and keep shooting.